Welcome to Talk Anomalous. I'm Aaron. Today's guests are Jassiel Gomez, singer-songwriter, and Ant, the magician. Now, relax, enjoy, and have an anomalous time.
Okay. Man, I already told you what I was gonna do. Alright, so what got you into playing music? Like, why do you play it?
I think I started hearing music that I was into finally, because for a long time I didn't know what I liked. I was just listening to whatever my brother was listening to, and it was, it was Godsmack, Metallica, Hoobastank. It's just a bunch of random bands that were famous.
90s radio.
Yeah. And so it just didn't, I couldn't relate to it. And then at some point I discovered pop punk, and I said, oh yeah, this is more like it. Started getting into it, and I started playing music at 13. And so I think I was always drawing, so I needed to do something more creative. And I think that's as easy as it started. Ultimately, I just need an outlet.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. So going off of that, like the artists that you got into, so at this point, what artists would you recommend?
Oh man. There is one that I can think of. I can go off on a few, but I think I'm just gonna stick to one. They're called Jerk Curb.
Mm-hmm.
And it's odd because it reminds me of one of my friends who's living out of state, I think Pennsylvania, and because it sounds like a combination of a bunch of different sounds that I actually like, which is Mac DeMarco, and then there's like a YouTube playlist called Nice Guys. It's an amazing playlist just to kill time, and it's got like a good visual. And I think since 2016, 2015, I was really into YouTube culture when it came to introduction of music and playlists. And
you can just hop around, and just like find a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I always needed something to be on in the background, so that fits right in. So for some reason, Jerk Curb, I think it's worth checking out. It's very easy listening, and the vocalist is doing different things, and I love when they do that. Yeah.
All right, so moving on from that. What do you think is the solution to everything?
I think I've said this before. Prioritizing your happiness is very important. Practicing empathy is also very important. So I think I'm going to stick to that more than the happiness, because I think practicing empathy is very important. I didn't know that it was something that not everybody knows.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of hard to have happiness when you don't have empathy for other people.
Yeah.
I mean, true happiness or something that's like...
Yeah, for a long time, I didn't understand put yourself in my shoes, because I said I can only understand things and experience things through myself. It's very difficult for me to do it through somebody else. And so that's because I wasn't practicing empathy at the time. Eventually, when I did, I realized, oh man, nobody's above anybody else. You should respect everybody. Everybody's going through their own stuff, and even though their story's not the same as yours, the emotion is the same.
To wrap it all up, tell us where you can be found.
So right now I go under Complex Creatures and the Skirts. Complex Creatures you can find on Bandcamp and Spotify. Complex Creatures you can find on Bandcamp. The Skirts have about 3 songs out, and we're trying to get back on it. So hopefully we have some uploads onto YouTube or something. But I also just do like I'm doing a lot of solo work pretty much, and I'm hoping that once I restring my guitar, my acoustic guitar, and reacquaint myself with that instrument, because it's been a long time. I've been on bass and synth for a long time. I hope I can make something as like a singer-songwriter. That would be pretty cool, because I can go out and do my own thing, and I don't need to carry like a lot of equipment like synth. You have to think ahead with that stuff, but
it's nice to be able to just pick up an acoustic and go out and just be like, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go do this.
Everybody has a mic. Everybody can mic up an acoustic guitar,
Yeah. Fuck.
And the magician. There we go. Why do you play music? What draws you in?
So, ever since I was really little, I just it's almost like a savant style like obsession. I would just obsessively listen to music, take it in. I always wanted to play it. Like, I would beg for instruments, you know, like from my parents. I'd be like, I want a guitar, like I want drums, I want this, I want that. You know, and when I was, I think like 7, I got a little like first act style kind of guitar. It wasn't first act, but it was like, you know, like little half size kind of classical
beginner
deal.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I did have very supportive parents. When I told my dad that I wanted to get a guitar, we went to pawn shops and stuff to get it. So that's pretty cool that they didn't say, oh, you know, it's just a phase, and they actually supported it. It was pretty cool. Okay, so are there any artists that are like really influence you right now? Like, what artists would you recommend in this day and age that people have to listen to, you know?
I personally know that I've been influenced a lot by David Bazan, from Pedro the Lion. That's just like, even if I'm not listening to him a lot actively, I've just like, for so much of my life, like probably about 17, 18 years now, I've been listening to his music, like since I was, you know, because I found it through skate videos. Most of the music I listen to now, I found through skate videos, you know, stuff like Dinosaur Jr. and stuff like that.
Nice, yeah.
And so, but I found Pedro the Lion in some skate videos when I was younger. And so probably David Bazan's one of the major influences and will always be one of my favorites. I have his signature tattooed on my arm. Methyl Ethel, they're pretty, like, they're kind of like groovy and like, I don't know, a lot of female vocalists lately, like Phoebe Bridgers, but Snail Mail too. It could maybe just be like a very similar stylistic thing. I'll check it out.
All right, so not to get too philosophical, but what do you think is the solution to everything?
Oh man, there's probably not one, you know. It differs for everybody, right? So like, mine is trying to find balance. My solution is balance, you know, like there's trying to like answer to yourself and be honest about like, hey, I need a break from this, or sometimes you need to rev things up, sometimes you need to get aggressive, sometimes you don't. You know, it's like whatever you need, just trying to figure out what you need so that you can try to do the best for yourself and the people around you, you know, because it's not just about like that selfish motivation. It's kind of what you were talking about earlier, you know, with, you know, that kind of trying to elevate yourself for the people around you and not just for yourself and for your own satisfaction, but so that you can kind of bring out the best in the world around you. Just try and make the world a better place, I guess. I don't know, as cheesy as that might sound.
No, yeah.
Right? But I mean, like, it's like the world sucks, man. I mean, people can be really messed up, and there's enough of it. You know, there's so many people that do so much wrong without even giving it a second thought. And so I tried to give it a second thought.
All right, so where can your music be found? Do you have any music online?
I have like a YouTube channel that I put a lot of stuff up on. I do a lot of improvs. A lot of times the style, the way that I play, I had a stroke about 4 years ago. And so the way that I write music now, a lot of times is just improvising.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of sit and play the guitar and record it. And it comes off in a way that I like. So I just put it on YouTube, man. You know, just make little videos out of it, put it on YouTube.
That's really cool.
So it's under Anthem Magician. You know?
Anthem Magician. Really cool. Yeah, because I know that when we originally met, it was a very crazy night. Just a lot of stuff had to line up for it to happen that way. We were microdosing, and it was our first night out to do an open mic. And we were originally planning just to go to Blue Star, Brick, and then, you know, you still get nervous, but you're kind of very accepting of it when you're microdosing. And we were up on stage, and that's when you were up front. And then I thought that I was just messing up, but you're like, my mind just left my body or something. I forgot what you said, but it was along those lines. And then you played, and I don't know how to describe your music, but it's like you're not going for convention. You're going for this like intense feeling that you felt before.
And then I have like I have the social media stuff, all the social medias under Anthem Magician. But yeah, that's why. So, it's not really like with an aim. It's just to kind of put it out there, see if
Yeah.
anybody relates. So,
Cool. All right. Well, it was nice chatting with you. This was Talk Anomalous. I don't know which episode 4.
Episode 632,056.2.
Check out Jonathan and his stories and all of our other talented artists. Just tag, like, share, and subscribe to Anomalous Sounds on YouTube.